Dr. Robin, I am going to be going on a family vacation with my kids and my family. As a post-traumatic parent, I know that I get triggered when my kids bicker and fight in long car rides. I really want this vacation to be wonderful. I want to build core memories in my kids, but I'm a little afraid that the long car ride is going to be overstimulating and they're going to end up fighting and bickering and I'll end up yelling, "Help." I got this message from a post-traumatic parent who is really trying to break the cycle that almost broke her and not be the yelling, angry, demanding mom that she experienced growing up, while at the same token, she knows she's easily triggered by noise, and she knows that car trips can be really a wonderful time for kids to bicker and fight and complain. It's almost like a part of the car trip. This is especially true because this post-traumatic parenting community member's husband has a strong feeling that children should not use screens on trips, so she's not going to have them, have an iPad or whatever devices they would have because they want to spend time as a family, and yet it's sometimes very hard when the kids fight. So first of all, let's normalize the fact that children will fight and bicker sometimes in a car. And some of that is a feature, not a bug in the system. Fighting, conflict, this is part of childhood. It's how we learn to get along with other humans. So don't judge yourself too much if your kids fight sometimes. But first, if this is a topic that interests you, if you worry whenever your kids are fighting or whenever you're on a family vacation and everybody's just miserable, that you think, I must be doing something wrong. I just don't know how to parent. Hi, welcome. We get it. We're post-traumatic parents too. Please click subscribe below so you never miss another episode. And we're gonna unpack, number one, why this happens, but much more importantly, what to do about it. So a car trip can actually be an incredible time for a family to bond, because on a car trip, our brains are more open to making new neural connections because we are seeing different parts of the world. We're all watching the same scenery. We're all seeing new and unusual and unfamiliar things out of the car window. Very often we're anticipating pleasurably where we're going and what we're going to do when we get there. And this is time that we've dedicated to spend together. So I can really understand this community member's husband saying, no screens. Because what's the point if the point of the vacation is for everybody to connect and we're all on screens, we're not connecting. So I really hear where he's coming from. I think screens are the kind of thing that you pull out in an emergency situation sometimes on a vacation, but I understand making it the norm that the screens stay away and we spend some time in the car really bonding. So what can we do? Because car rides can be boring and annoying and difficult. So I have you covered. Here are a couple of games and fun things that you can have for the car that you can pack along. First thing is something I found in Target. It was in those $5 aisle, at the beginning of the store. It's road trip bingo. So you take off the plastic and then you close all the windows of all the things that you're looking for, and then when you find that thing out of your window, you flip the yellow window over. So for example, if you saw a tree, you can flip it over. And as soon as you see the thing, you yell it out, like, police car, and you flip it over. Corn, you flip it over. Pharmacy, you flip it over. Coffee shop, you flip it over and then whoever, gets one line can yell bingo, and then maybe there's a treat. Maybe that's when we stop and we stretch our legs and we all do jumping jacks. Maybe that's when we all yell 3 cheers for whoever. There's a lot of ways to use this game and make it fun. That person gets to choose the next song that we play in the car. That person gets to choose a song that the whole family sings together. Just to make it more fun and more funny. That person gets to choose the next game. But this is a really cute game for road trip bingo. A dog walker a sign that says construction ahead, an excavator truck, a bicycle. These are things you are likely to see. The corn is the only one that, like, unless you're driving through the Midwest of America, yeah, might not see, but I guess someone can order corn on the cob in a restaurant. But so that is road trip bingo, one option of a game to take along that we can all play together. If you want to just keep little humans kind of busy and kind of like, you know, stimulated somewhat, Smart came out with these. These are called crumples. These are the mini versions of them, but you can get the big versions. I know they sell them in Target. So this is a little fidget that is insanely satisfying. Are you all jealous of me? Would you all like to be doing this right now? It's just a lot of fun to play with. So it's even something, because it has the two loops, you can like attach it to somebody's booster seat, to somebody's car seat, and they can just play with it. And like I said, it comes in full size. This is just the mini size sample, but it can really make a car trip like a little bit more stimulating and fun, especially for a child whose body naturally has a lot of movement and stimulation needs. So then instead of getting irritable and annoyed and then like, my sister is breathing, this is terrible, I must annihilate her, because I've gotten some of that irritability out and discharged it simply by fidgeting, I don't feel that need. And on top of that, unlike other fidgets, for example, putty or slime, it doesn't get all over the car and into people's hair and, like, you know, genetically encoded in our DNA and can never be removed. So that's another option. The boogie boards, I don't know if you all know about boogie boards, but boogie boards are these electronic little writing boards that you can write on them. So you can like play tic-tac-toe, you can scribble, you can write secret messages. And as soon as you're finished whatever you're writing, so can you see my boogie board and my little scribble? You can press the little button and it magically erases and you can start again. So we can play tic-tac-toe, we can play hangman, games like that. Now boogie board now makes these with these little, they call them stretch pals. They're in this like little sensory packet where you can pull and you can pull on this and you can stretch it, and it's a fidget in and of itself. The strap can attach, like I said, to a car seat, a booster seat, the strap of the seat in front of you so that you can use it. Again, another thing that just will keep a kid busy. We can have a contest where everybody has to draw a picture, a funny picture, and then we all hold them up and we see which one is the funniest or the cutest. Another option for a car trip, just to keep the little humans stimulated. If you're looking for activities for family togetherness, stuff we can do together, Penny Cakes, which is a brand new brand. Penny Cake makes these this is called Mix It Up on the Go. It's activity recipes for families, for on the go family fun. And if you open it up, it's just a little pouch. You can pull out an activity card, and each card has an idea of something you can do, like go on a nature walk and look for something specific. Tell a funny story about something that happened. Let's open these up and see them. I haven't opened this one yet, so let me just open it. I absolutely loved this brand when I met them at Sweet Sweet because of the way they do a lot of the heavy lifting for post-traumatic parents who don't naturally know how to structure a family activity because it wasn't modeled for them. So all the heavy lifting is done by Penny Cake. What animals would say? With a grown-up passenger leading the fun, passengers look for animals, dogs being walked, squirrels or birds in trees, butterflies near flowers, etc. Take turns calling out the animal scene and being the voice of the animal. In your animal voice, tell the animal's name and an adventure it just had. So you see how that sparks creativity and imagination, and it can be really fun. And again, passes the time in the car, but also we're getting to know each other and how we think, and we're playing this game together, and it's so much fun. License plate letter phrases. While driving around, passengers pick out random license plates that contain several letters in a row. Together, passengers come up with phrases that match these letters. For example, DPWF could be don't play with frogs, right? Name a word that with the first letter, and then the other passengers can come up with the rest of the words, right? So just like fun things. What's that song? What do you hear? Who knew chain? Just all of these cute games that you can play in the car that, yeah, maybe if you're not a post-traumatic parent, you might be able to sort of like have the endless creativity to think of it on your own. But in that stressful moment, everybody's fighting and everybody's snapping at each other and everybody's kind of getting annoyed. It's sometimes hard to pull that creativity out of your brain. But these cards sort of have they did the heavy lifting for you. They thought of it, so you can just pull out a card, hey guys, let's play a game. And then it's, let's do the license plate game. And you play it, and it's just so much fun, and it sort of resets everything. I love Penny Cake just because what they're doing in terms of doing the heavy lifting for us is so valuable and helpful. Another game that Penny Cake has, also an on-the-go one, is called Chatter Time. This game is something that I'm ordering for every one of my therapist's desks. And what Chatter Time is basically a whole bunch of like conversation starter prompts. Talk about a time you were scared. Talk about a time that something funny happened to you. Talk about something surprising. And again, this time kids can hear stories from their parents' childhood that they may not have known. Parents can hear things about their children's lives that they might not have known. And it's just a great way to start a conversation, especially if there's this low level of irritation of like everybody's bickering and we're trapped in the car. And I know this is supposed to be a valuable time. As one mother said, she said the worst part of watching a movie like Inside Out or Inside Out 2 is this idea that as the parent, I'm supposed to be helping them create core memories. And I don't know how to create core memories, which I think is so true and so difficult. So you're supposed to be creating core memories, but all you want to do is snap at everybody and tell everybody to stop fighting. It's hard to access so tell me something funny that happened in school this year. It's hard to like open up that program in your brain. So Penny Cake sort of did that for you. And isn't this the cutest, most portable little packet? It takes up like no space, but there's so many cards in it, and you can like attach it to on a keychain to like a carabiner to like the outside of your bag, and then it's just accessible and you can find it. Another thing that I found, again, at Sweet Sweet this year was Melissa and Doug's Sticker Wow. So this is a whole new way to do a sticker book. It's a sticker applicator, and you stamp out the stickers. And then there's all these activity pages where you stamp the stickers to complete the scene. And it can really keep, I would say, like 5, 6, 7-year-old super busy if there's a long car ride and it's hard to keep them entertained, especially without screens, and then they can show you their design. It's just really fun, and it's oddly sensory satisfying to stamp out those stickers. So I absolutely love this toy. It's something that I got a sample of at Sweet Sweet, but I'm planning on ordering it the minute it's available in stores, simply because I can really see my 7-year-old daughter loving it, and I can really see my 4-year-old granddaughter loving it. I can see my 5-year-old nephew loving it. I can just see it as a really satisfying way to spend about an hour. And for slightly older kids, bring along a card game. Like, this is Monopoly Deal, but there are lots of card games. There are a lot of games that come in card game versions that can be, the nice thing about card game versions of games is that they're usually super fast. Gameplay takes about 10 minutes. And if you depends on like how bouncy your car ride is. With Monopoly Deal, you're holding your deck in your hands. It's not that hard to keep track of your cards. There are also, you can find card holders on Amazon that are basically just like a Velcro strip that goes over the cards, and you can keep them in there. So that way when you're traveling, the cards don't fly all over the car. But playing those kinds of fast-paced card games can sometimes keep kids engaged and busy, until they fight over who won. It can keep kids engaged and busy in a car. And then we're bonding, because there's something about moving together through space when we're in a car and we're all traveling together towards a destination that can really enhance our relationships and open us up to new experiences and new ways of relating to each other. So don't take on this pressure of like, I must create the core memories, and if I don't create core memories, I'm doing something wrong. It's okay not to like actively work on every single core memory that we can possibly create for our children. It's okay to like take a breath and sometimes let the children amuse themselves and each other in the car with stickers and books and boogie boards and, road trip games and fidgets and all of those options, and sometimes play a cooperative game as a family that can be played even if one parent is driving and we're all having fun and having an interesting discussion together. And then when everyone's getting really cranky and like we're 20 minutes away from the rest stop where we're going to get food and our blood sugar is low and our patience is low and our bodies need to move and we're tired, then we can take out a screen perhaps for a short period of time, sort of as anesthesia until we get to the rest stop. And then we can go in and enjoy our food and, stretch our legs, and screen time's over now. And now it's time to resume our trip until we get to where we were going. But the idea of on a family trip, yes, let's focus on bonding, but let's make the bonding possible by keeping kids stimulated, engaged, having fun, being able to interact, because if they don't interact in a positive, fun way, they are going to interact in a negative, conflictual way. And like I said, that's a feature, not a bug. Kids need to learn how to have a good fight. They need to learn how to resolve their issues and resolve their disputes with each other. It's okay that they need to resolve their issues and disputes with each other, and sometimes they're going to be fighting and bickering, especially on a road trip. One other tip for road trips that works for me, I always need to make sure in all the attending to the family and the family's needs that my needs are handled too. So like I make sure I have my emergency replenishing blood sugar supply of food in the car for me. I make sure I have my caffeine supply and my knowledge of how I am getting caffeine in, well in hand. I make sure that I stay hydrated in a car, because I'm going to get short-tempered if I don't pay attention to my body, just as my children will get short-tempered. So making sure that my needs are attended to is also very important. One of the things I like to use for car trips are my loop earbuds, which are earbuds that block out the highest frequencies of sound, so that if my kids are actually playing nicely, but they're making the most high-pitched, bizarre noises in the back seat because they're acting out some story, or they're just like, singing a song on top of their lungs and it sounds kind of screechy and discordant and not nearly as harmonious as they think it sounds, the loop earbuds help me simply block out the worst of it so that I can still be part of it and I can still listen, and I'm not so irritated that my misophonia is driving me crazy. So that's how I handle car trips and road trips. If you have any other tips, if you have your essential products for car trips or road trips, if you have a really good tip or trick for that, please comment below and let the post-traumatic parenting community know. You might help another parent who really needs that help and support. If you like this video, please click subscribe below. Please send these videos to friends, because that's how the post-traumatic parenting community grows. It's one friend telling another friend, and really understanding that post-traumatic parenting is something that's accomplished if we're doing it together. We can break the cycles that almost broke us. I will also say, just to make it clear, I am not affiliated with any of the brands whose toys I am showing you. I just love toys, and I love incorporating play in parenting. I'm passionate about using play to fix our attachment with our kids and to attune with our kids. So when I find a great toy, I just want to share it with everybody, but not because like any brand is sponsoring me to do that, simply because it's a great toy and I just want to share it so that you all know about it. So please click subscribe below. If you want to hang out where the other post-traumatic parents hang out, check out at Dr. Koslowitz Psychology on Instagram. And the Post-Traumatic Parenting Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. That's where I talk to experts about all things parenting and trauma. And the Post-Traumatic Parenting book is coming out from Broadleaf in 2025, so stay tuned for that. Till next time.